Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of a program we call Colres. Right now we are on YouTube and on Facebook, so we can discuss issues them where the front page of the different newspaper that they carry for the day. And after which, like always, we can go with people inside where they can help we follow we discuss the issues them or the story them or the news them where the different newspaper them don't take for the day. Remember say not to all story we can able for talk about because there can plenty and we actually need for see the one them way really topical way they of public interest. Now that one and we can actually look at inside the program. So when they start the ball rolling and when they go straight and begin look at the front page of the different newspaper then we don't see this morning. The first paper where actually they begin look at the morning. Now the paper where they call the Open Space newspaper. Open Space say to expand its reach to customers and the general public. SLCB new branch opens at Lumley. President Bill thrills hunger on unity and fence mending. NCRA statistics validation meeting ends on high notes. And plenty other story and for you inside this edition. The next one, now the Daily Scope newspaper, we say Chinese ambassador advocates on new dimension in democracy. You as well get a former musician Big Fish unleashes skills. And hosted leader son charged with treason and corruption. The next one, African 24, we say Sierra Leone urban rural water reservoir at risk. Lumley LUC and the SLP ops are exceptional. Over 400 airport workers call for benefit. The next one we get now the Prime Times newspaper. We say as they embark on dialogue process, APC calls for transparency negotiation. A spectacular unveiling Sierra Leone designer hit London Fashion Week. President Bill signs climate change treaty in New York and police resist rescue of national animal. The next one, now the C4D media, we say 35 best foods for strong, healthy. All right.
It's 9:25 a.m.
All right, very sorry. We will continue with the paper then, and the C4D media say Ministry of Energy, ETSA, and ETGC flip-flop accessible, affordable, and reliable electricity supply. Costly electricity tariff, 336 million budget allocation millions, EGTC percent, ETSA poor electricity generation and distribution, frequent power outage, $46 million debt to car power ship, prepaid monies collected, electricity consumption. You as well get other story then, the denial of fairness to a democratic society dampens good governance. Oped. And the next one we get now the Independent Observer say I want to become a pastor. Release convict thank Chief Justice. UN Resident Coordinator encourages dialogue in Sierra Leone. The next one, now the Sky Times newspaper, we say President Biya accuses US of election meddling. Visiting five-star food industry, Employment Minister welcomes introduction of new Maggi factory. Petit trader bags brand new motorbike in Africell mega promo. This is another story for inside this edition. And the Calabash newspaper, and the next one we say emphasizing trust and global solidarity. President Biya addresses hunger 78th session. Supreme Court Judge ushers in High Court call over as he ends 43 criminal proceedings. Indian High Commission celebrates Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation ITEC Day 2023. Voice of Salona, the next paper, we say to lobby MCC, Biya carries big political players in United Nations. And you get Mother Biya, you get ANALYSE MCC chief, you get the Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, you get the Speaker of Salon Parliament, you get the acting opposition leader, and you get the Clerk of Parliament. You as well get Labour Ministry, Trade Union discusses worker welfare and illicit and financial flaws. The next one at the night watch, we say another special court for Sierra Leone. Bio is heading to jail, Slpp Stalwart. The next paper, now the Vindicator, we say opening another branch. Okay, we don't get on the UN chief quarters. Little time left to avert climate crisis. Justice Sise issues bench warrant for 95 Jews. Maxim Industry commits to build market community center at Rubamba. The other one, the Times newspaper, we say high shipping charges trigger fuel price increase. You as well get ADB supervisor mission team concludes 4-day field assessment tour of RAIC projects. And then we have the RRF form for Bonth, Bo, and Kailaun. The other one, the AZ newspaper, we say on UN Command Bill, APC party for commitments to peace urge swift dialogue. And you as well get UN Security Council urge reform. President Bill calls for 2 African seats in permanent category. At Onga, Minister of Finance makes case for development financing for low-income countries. And all the people in this will get inside the program this morning. We'll take a very short break and bring we guests them inside so we can discuss the issues then.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the Wahala we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the Wahala we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep.
Okay, welcome back to the program where we call Colors, right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook. And most of the discuss the front page of the newspaper them. Well, some thanking day, the Colors skin sweet. Some thanking day na cassava leaf, some thanking day na jollof rice, some thanking day the soup can done sour, and some thanking day it always done rotten. Well, it depends on the kind of discussion where we get for the morning. Now so you they get the information and now so you they appreciate the program or say, oh no, the program today the rest done rotten. Well, today inside the program we get another person. Well, this is not the first time for the we host them. We forbid host yesterday, but unfortunately because of one or two other reasons them we not be able to forget them. But it make himself available today for the we get them today. Well, this is now veteran journalist. When I say veteran journalist, now person we get wealth of experience in the field of journalism. Well, they don't decide for take the back seat and say, okay, I watch waiting the small one and they do in this particular field. And that not mean say don't retire. He can take the pen, he can take the mic at any time where he feel. But the only thing no more in na senior manner inside the game. Well, we can see waiting it get for we, you know, all of the years them where if you don't practice take to this particular moment. Well, this person na Joseph Fumulo. Welcome to the program this morning, sir.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Fumulo, we get one traditional question where we can normally ask somebody where they join me for the very first time. And this na question we is very, very difficult. But anyway, I'm just kidding. So the question now, the program in name, this program now we call them Kores. And we all know it's in a Kores. So the question is when or who's them last where you eat Kores?
Every day at the eat time.
Okay. So
Maybe this one here now the way that they prepare is different from the other one. The palatableness or the lopoticness maybe is different from the one where I don't use for it.
all right. So whose sauce where you can like where you will say, oh, this is the best one where I like for me Kores for enjoy them.
No, that name, I'm not going able to talk about. It depends on the one we cook. It could be anyone.
All right. So whose one will you want to give me this morning? Whose one you go appreciate for the we eat this morning?
Well, where I can see someone, it can talk boku boku, but when something they happen, they see in the run, they want for swim go longe.
All right. So we dey go now to the program, put better one, and begin look at the front page, then back. In other words, we can begin discuss the issues them now where we already don't see from the different newspaper then. All right, so we go first. The issue of the United Nations. Now a special thing for say on this program where they call UNGA, United Nations General Assembly. Now special people in no more they talk they honor based on your performance no more you they discuss things them or make a statement. Now UNGA.
Thank you very much. Well, you see, ever since we they don't set up the UN after the Second World War in 1945, then we don't see the need all the members we the different countries they has them they can always get something for good discuss day. So and based on that thing then they where they all they go and other people they can go there. But the UN General Assembly is set not only for heads of states. Now them they go and take part in the very session. Say for instance, then they don't talk about Millennium Development Goal, MDG. Then after Millennium Development Goal, they come with the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. We get about 30 goals. And every year then they try for meet and discuss the scorecard, how far most government they don't waiting they don't do. And now most now at this time, depending on the trend where they go, now more on climate change, now then they go discuss and other things then. So the UN General Assembly now more for heads of state of the UN when are members of the UN, now then more they go talk na the General Assembly. And the other side meeting now for other people then where they can invite them because not only heads of state but other people they can invite them journalists, civil society activists all over the world. Then they invite them. As long as the criteria where they set, you able to meet them, then they invite you for good day based on recommendation from the organization where they represent your country.
Right. So let me go into the statement of Marabio, for example, because we see a lot of other heads them make statements. For example, the junta leader Nagini himself make statements. Other people them way you could say, you know, na heads of state, as you rightly don't say now for them. They self go and make a statement, talk about what happen at the country and how they want for the you know the in the world see their own performance and all of those things. In other words, then they use this platform as a way for lobby and see how best they can able for get support for the young country. But let me look at waiting na the statement amongst the other things then. In the opening of the statement where Marabio make na hunger, he say the issue that aspiration, for get abundant job, for make we get food security, for make we get equitable health care, and make we able to get a lot of things them way very much good. He said that one day not they live in a dream anymore. He say but na reality. In other words, all of them things they also way highlight so now things this way they reflect on the lives of the people them. One is a equitable. That means that the health system it look okay for the people them. People are not the doubts of minor things them again. Job day abundantly for people them and other things them. You listen to that particular part of the speech.
Go on.
No, I ask now. You be listening to and we even make a statement now. You.
I'm not really all yet.
All right, so this now exactly by word now don't put to you so now of what he say. He say inside saloon now we get abundant job, we get food security, we get equitable health, and the justice not all that thing we go say now by sababu, now by birthright. Anybody inside the country gets justice. Yeah. So this now waiting he say in the opening of the statement. What do you make up of this?
Yeah, well, in the leader, you don't talk up, and are they on the ground in terms of justice. It ensures the rule of law they take place. Unlike before, when you get a lot of prisoners the way they can the stairs there with the Chief Justice in push. It don't ensure say every district that the whole magistrate court now for ensure say people that way justice due them, then they get them. Coming to the job, well, most factories they not open the conducive atmosphere then for let people then create employment opportunities for the youth then. And also, even for register your business like NRA, other one they know they take a long time. So and so many other things. It partly everything they go on fine, but more need to be done.
So the job business when everybody concerned about. Yusuf agrees that we get plenty jobs there right now.
Job they where the industries them where they don't can so far for people there. Other side they don't create the conducive environment for let the job there. The issue here is most times when our leaders then they make pronouncement, the man with the microphone is focus more on the microphone and the speaker, but they try for let the speaker elaborate what you don't say, what you made. So far, they don't do most of them thing away, don't do more, they get for do more.
All right, so because in the second term campaign, it actually be the tell we say it will provide 500,000 jobs for people them. So and we well according to you it don't they do that day. Well, how we don't do that day? You say the atmosphere day for let you do that one day. But the
question, because even the mining policy they try for review and over like before, where people them can make the very mining companies so they know about most of those things that like you can make a binding agreement with somebody for over 50 years. And besides, when you look at the environmental impact assessment, what they can do, the beneficiaries they don't be they get order. When they try for review, most of those policies them so that it attract more investors where they can, and then they can, as I talk to you, more they can, more factories and don't can. It depends of now people then forgo make themselves available at this place. Because the other thing is yes, availability of the job, but what skill do you have? Which skill where you have? Sorry for where they talk English. The skill. So the jobs are available, but the type of skills again where people that will get for this job. But there are so many factories now. When I know of from somewhere as far as say Bumuna, where the job then they because again sometimes when you are coming up, so you don't need for pick the job. You always have to start from somewhere. Know your level when you dey come up as a youth. No picking on the way that they born today begin the creep. So you see, so people them the skills where they get now more also important. But it don't create the conducive atmosphere for let people then get a job at least where they go on.
You know to me, English teacher, but I ask you this question. Where will they talk about abundant? What in that mean?
Abundant mean plenty.
And plenty means say not to manage, not to gamble for say a day I know day under.
Yes, that's true. But they're
Yes.
not, they're not absolute.
You know,
Space
because
most
some it's a lot of people concerned about the word abundant jobs. We mean say plenty job day. I can then at this job today, for example. Then side there I say full side we sit down so you say abundant job days. Today I go then at this job. I say no, I want for left this job and go to another job.
well, I'm not going able, for instance, uh, quantify the number of commissions created, the number of other MDAs created, the number of factories we don't come up in the last 5 years. All these ones, if you self can, you do the research, you will see that what in the talk, there is some amount of truth there.
Well, if you refer to me self don't do me on, but not to me on discussion. This me just for ask you question where I go put to you. But
All
anyway,
right, so abundance from the president is happening.
okay. All right. Okay, that's good. All right. So let me go to the next thing where you talk about equitable, healthcare. What do we mean by that first? Because before we talk about that, we get for simplify and for let people understand that.
Well, to me, everybody get access to healthcare, irrespective of who you be. You be somebody who not able to afford. You be somebody who uh, no actually able for say, whether you be a disabled, a physically challenged or not. There are so many clinics, health centers around the country now. The hospitals are not they too far from the nearest town or village now. So that makes it say equitable. So there is accessibility for everybody we get sick, except you don't want to go there.
But for let you go there, get for
I don't sick, for instance. I don't sick. I don't sick me here the tongue.
Okay. So
I live all the way. I live all the way in a grafting. There was this question of whether to go to Churchram from grafting or to go to the Chinese hospital. Little did I know that there was a hospital before me, before going to the Chinese hospital or to Choitran or to Connaught. So you see, so the equitability, everybody has access to these health centers, irrespective of what class you belong to, whether you are disabled or not.
so the cost, accessibility get for match up with the cost. Feel say that again a part of the accessibility.
Well, like they under five the pregnant women.
That and we know say that they happen. For example, we get several people them where every day they beg on the social media because they not get way for go access the system the way we talk about right now. For example, 2-3 bobo them, for example, small bobo them we just done they between the age of 7 to 10 or 12 years or 15 years maximum. they for them the foot they broke, the bone they pump out, it don't rot it don't dry out, it still they use that foot, they not get access to any of the system then because in people they not get the money. Other people them they die out of minor things them way.
Let me tell you within the cause that
Okay.
most times from my own experience and what I hear from medical people.
Okay.
Remember they used to talk about one doctor, Dr. Lazarus Fair, when people they go to the hospital they die. When people are sick, most people they don't agree for go to the hospital because they get a preconceived idea. Say they know they go get better medicine. But that's not the case. You go to the hospital, let's see how they treat you. Then now you will conclude. But you don't just go on a face value, you hear it say, this hospital, let's say physical go na for nothing. But like my case, I tell you, when we hate talk, 2 days, I get blackout in my room. I'm not able to map for myth. I get for control, me say make I just sit down for bit, or I'm not able to lay down at the bed. But I go to my hospital where I benefit is a better mercy, not it. If I the mercy where they give me, I was so surprised. After how many 3 days, 4 days, look from today till they are aware. That was on 24th of July. So if I be sit down say I know they go, where you go then nurse they know they treat you fine, then doctor they know they treat you fine. Sometimes go and see for yourself. You see, it's a pity if that body they be care go to hospital, they go treat her. Because they get what free na cannot. If I hospital they, for get hospital. But I know somebody last 2 years ago, na cannot go born. This time as I dey talk to you, na satellite clinic na they go born at Kihama Road. Conveniently. So I access the health center. So that make it talk. And the report where they get. You see?
Okay. So let me go to this other big issue we come up. The issue of the MCC. Let's just show you within the paper and say quickly. Before ever we take up, this one says to lobby MCC, bill carries big politicians or political players in United Nations. Other than the people in Ikego, himself, Ikego the Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Ikego the Speaker of Saloon Parliament, Ikego the the acting leader of the opposition, Ikego the Clerk of Parliament, all of them people here. So Ikego as well, the leader of government business in the Parliament. All of them big players so for go and lobby, the MCC. But look at the outcome of the MCC, yeah. The MCC, the same stage we've been there with other countries like Kenya, like Mozambique. But as it is now, Mozambique and Kenya, they don't get their own signature for letting them go get the money, whereas we don't get anything. We go say we own money. They don't put hold on the money. They don't slow the timeline because they say of the election where it gets a lot of questions. It gets to do with the issue of transparency. It gets to do with the issue of credibility, especially with the tabulation. So what do you take? Because Marabio always they make a case about this MCC thing and the decision of a United States, for example, where they give, according to a unilaterally, they give, visa restriction on people and we then say get hand on the election. So what do you think? Other countries then they benefit, but we not go benefit because of the election.
Thank you very much. To be the step when they don't begin for take the diplomatic step, then they continue for take and try as much as possible for convince the United States for say the MCC when they not make them we lost them and we all everybody that's well now for we all.
But
So
this thing starts even before the election. For example, there was a correspondent. They sent a letter to Marabio before the election. And then tell them say the election we already don't get the money for the MCC, but this election are the determiner. We they expect for see transparent, free, fair, and credible election. Yeah. So the election come and then there is a lot of concern. Up to list them, they know even for address them things and they even the committee where they call on them for let them set up. Now the vice president now in charge of the committee. And at the end of the day, they send another letter again. This time around to Jules de Jallo, they send the letter. And then they tell them, say, because of them things they are so way, when are still not able to handle within the election, we delay the deadline for this particular thing. That's why we say for we don't get this money at this particular time, but we not able to get them yet. So not only for say, then just now reach on them, we don't tell them beforehand, say, this and this now the criteria for not get this money.
So now they continue with the dialogue with the government of the United States of America. They'll get a headway. If that's so, then say, so and therefore let's say try for government to me, let government continue with the dialogue.
But you think say instead of the dialogue now, we see a lot of accusation, they come from young government to the United States. You think say now the right method that one day for dialogue?
No, but therefore probably for avoid the speculation on what to make them will be done the area who is saying the truth, basically. So now the American ambassador will be there, he don't talk to you. President Biosef don't talk to you. Now sit down now and look them, waiting at the way forward. Now government to government now.
All right. So on this particular thing, the negotiation, all of them things there. So it's very important that we get this particular money at this time. But I'll ask you this question, and this because of a veteran journalist with wealth of experience in the field of journalism. How you go assess the election and the outcome?
Well, personally, when you waiting and see the president, the way they move all the 190 chiefdoms, headquarters told the way they salute, village to village, town to town, city to city. And waiting me see that more in particular, because I didn't the way vote.
Okay.
President Bill, according to what the ECSL say, I believe say ECSL, which is the result with the Guinea are the correct result.
So the observers, the observers, their own concern. For you yourself no agree with them concerns then?
No, I'm not agree with their concern. I'm a citizen of Sierra Leone. For instance, you are dealing with people of different culture. You are dealing with people with different culture.
But election not get different culture.
Well, the culture here is, why didn't people vote for the other party? What happened before the election? What happened during the campaign? We need to find out what happened during the campaigns. Who campaigned more than the other? Who went to almost every area of the country? Why didn't they? Who was not able to go? And why? Sometimes you can be afraid of, you will be afraid of your shadow.
What do they mean?
No,
be afraid of
you can get guilty conscience.
What do they still
I get
mean?
guilty conscience, I'm afraid for pastor in front of the board.
So what do they mean? What in the case where we talk about in guilty conscience make a refuse for going on certain side?
Well, the one where they talk say the result where Connect pool is not credible.
So a lot of
Me go
people
one,
like who that because
yeah.
this one we want for
Me
them
go one,
educate
like,
people. Them.
me go one. Let people that really come on the ground and do a real vox pop. Then we go able to know now waiting Connect result where Connect pull out. Now the true result
Or
or
not to
not
the
to.
two. But the request now very simple from the international community and from the opposition. Very simple. Kone, we agree with your result, but please can you release the disaggregated data that the waiting make you reach to this point? Can you show we am Louis Yam? It's simple, but Kone up to this time.
But then you have to then they look at the precedent. At least that the precedent, and not ever set up.
Okay, so if something bad, we not forever correct them in we country.
No, it depends on what you say. It's bad.
So in this case, the result and the request not bad at all, or the request when they make them bad and the action of ECSL not
bad. What are the percentage of people them where actually they ask for this result?
So the percentage not important in this case. What's important? The two people.
Let's
just ask the question quick. The two people where take part in this thing, the one say in cool, the other one say not cool. For example, me and you right now with the discourse, you put and I put, you put I put, in a discussion. So in the case of who side the opposition say they're not okay with the figure, you not feel say ECSL get right for do that?
But the precedent they not be non settled.
Yeah, we agree.
So ECSL waiting to.
Okay, the precedent, let's take for example the precedent for death penalty, Madam Leone can pass them. So because they not be don't pass them before, enough for do them?
It don't come pull up.
So now they talk so. It don't pull am now. So it don't make a very good precedent. But because other person not be don't pull am before, for make it not pull am, no, it don't pull am. So for say something wrong before and now we not for correct and not a good idea that one day.
So you continue with the dialogue.
Okay.
We'll continue with the dialogue. Whether ECSS see necessary for prove that result. If that precedent will not be known, it will set that now.
Okay. So all right, so we move with this thing, and let we go again to another issue quickly, and look at this other issues them we see inside the different paper then, this one. Sorry about that. I think I need to go take your advice quickly and go drink small water. All right, so let me look at this other one again where we see the issue of light business inside the country according to this paper. La project for people in Leone. According to this paper, yes, that they do. According to this paper, when I see for the media, it's a Ministry of Energy, ETSA, and ETGC flip-flops accessible, affordable, and reliable electricity supply. They take then key points out and put SAFU for let we go because this is not the slogan now of the day. SAFU. Costly and electricity tariff. Yeah, and then they say basically, what do you think about the operation of ETGC, the Ministry of Energy, and that of the ETSA in terms of generation and distribution, especially for the capital?
ETGC, they generate, the ETSA distribute. That arrangement. I don't really understand Theo, because maybe they're out of the country where I can be the maker. Like, because before now it was direct. We get whether they generate and whether they distribute. You see? So what we get for do really as Sierra Leoneans, let us show love for this country.
So how the Sierra Leonean they can show love in this light business?
The one way they don't give the tax for performing tax they did, when they make sure say they do it correctly.
All right. Look the paper waiting a continuity bullet point. It say frequent outage, frequent power outage. In other words, blackout in Boku na the city right now.
See, look at. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do investigation on this light business from 1989 or 88.
Okay.
I think 89, 90.
Mm-hmm.
Me and late Jibril Musa, they're almost between electricity building.
Mm-hmm.
We investigate. There is something that happen when we get this blackout.
So.
Besides when the machine them, the cable them old. Most of them machine na tama. Bumbuna, imagine how many years Bumbuna will be on the para. From where are they? A secondary school. I don't even know. Almost for buy me shoes where me daddy be the buy now. But pass I see the papa tell me say let we go butter, let we go buy shoes. I don't hear about Bumbuna. Up to this day.
So right now like dead horse. But we'll look at the present situation right now inside the country with regards light business. For example, this now debt now we talk about. So in as much as we get outage in terms of the power supply.
To me, I impressed. Don't forget about the one where we don't damage the transformer. I left grafting inside blackout. I go BT.
Mm-hmm.
Usai Aloj. Mine, I see where I enter the palace, I see people that they watch TV. But I'm not asked. Now I go to the room where I for sleep. Now I just say, well, make a switch on the switch for charge the phone. When I see my phone on, it begin to charge. I said, what? Then later I asked, they say, hey, we get solar there. Then I go work and take the solar then near the hospital. So all the 190 chiefdoms, the Minister of Energy and Power, through the support we development partners don't give, it don't ensure say almost all the 190 chiefdoms headquarters on the get like.
Okay, so I still look out you back to this issue of Freetown. We agree say the rural electrification they go on, but the one way they make they assess the country in terms of electricity.
Freetown at some point it been bad. But
yeah. So let me ask you this question. According to the reason, let's just ask the question quickly. According to the reason where they make when they get this outage, and because of the kind of debt where we get right now to the one way they generate the electricity, when a cap our ship, where they talk about $46 million as a debt where we get for pay them because of electricity business.
But Tio, who's the car power business car for supply with electricity?
The last government.
Salute me not they get light. Now the population don't increase.
No, but what the population get for doing the
I'm coming at the camp. The consumers, I think government they work on that because I see that they put pole all along. It's like a new pole that they try for put up so that the light go able to almost every side. There was a time Musa they pass over 1 week, 1 month, another get light.
Very correct in what you say. You're very much correct. But still the question is, waiting there this all the distribution get for do with the debts where the government get for pay the cap power share.
Well, the answer people now then get for answer that question.
Yeah, because if the people they pay the light bill them for get light, then we get $46 million as a debt for pay.
So yeah, so that is why again here comes we also get for find out actually what is going on. Why is this going on? Now we own responsibility now as journalists, not to for just go begin the way Dr. Kanja said don't talk. We say this was what he said. But why did he say it? You see, these are the
So
questions.
now exactly waiting this
just
paper
like
they do so.
they ask now, why car power?
Now exactly this paper they do so. It go beyond waiting, then they tell we and bring things them where we need for know. Yeah, some of them things they are some things that we need for know. If only we can look them from a a neutral
so
way.
So that means the answer that question that you get for good too. Because if me say now I get for answer, I go talk same way I don't know about, which is not good. Like where this program where you don't start and so the credibility. You get for encourage more people then for make them go day, taking their time for sit down and listen to waiting with the can talk there. Light is very important. It's very, very important that this city.
All right.
And every city now within that to Leone.
Very correct.
So that thing, just like you say, now ESA then need for tell we. Because they are like a paradox there and that. Why would they pay the light bill, but then enable pay car power?
So this again now for the people them and now for the government. You know, things say in a case like this, the anti-corruption as well for coming and investigate.
Yeah, partly you are partly correct, but it's possible anti-corruption and they do diplomatic investigation as me and you two they talk.
All right. So
you see,
okay, let's take you to another issue. Where this will likely be the last issue. This one are from one Slpp Stalwart, where this is exactly what he say. He say another special court for Sierra Leone. From the paper Night Watch, he say Bio is heading to jail. What do you make up of this?
Well, who says so? My own opinion.
Okay.
You see, my own opinion expressed because I don't even know the person. You see, who is he? Which personality he be? And why? Why?
So with this question of why, force me for ask you this question. 2 days ago, protests been there at the same United Nations with two sets of Sierra Leoneans. Them. The one they say, then they protest against stolen election and human rights abuse. The other one say, then they protest against, then they protest, well, then they celebrate democracy. If you for the in a capacity for choose amongst the two type of protests, which one will you go there?
You see, when they said the one way peaceful.
All two being peaceful.
All
two being peaceful, but two different messages.
The one way they know they talk about them bastard picking there, we will deal with them. I know
not been there with bastard picking. All been just they talk about the issues there. For example, they talk about human rights abuse, they talk about stolen election, and the other one talk about celebrating democracy. Now the two issues in this. So tell me, which one will you for be part of?
I will be an observer and they observe them.
So in this case, you not go be observer, you just get for choose one. Because you already don't begin say you could be part of the way peaceful or the way not they talk about bad things. And so go ahead with the listen. Who's one way you could be part of?
I will be an observer.
Okay. So in right for let we say Sierra Leone they celebrate democracy.
Sierra Leone they celebrate democracy when if you remember the question the way he asked me first when this program begin about the rule of law. Democracy day, because justice they go on, the court them, because when you talk about the rule of law, that are the proper due process of the law in the court matter.
All right.
Then free speech day.
Okay.
Free speech day. People they get right to as a peaceful assembly.
Are you sure of that?
Oh yes.
So let me take the election for example.
When you talk about democracy, the government for the people by the people, but government for its elected representative. When you look at all them basic tenets, look what the journalists they write.
No,
They
but when
are
you talk
trying.
about peaceful assembly, let's talk about them quickly. Let's take
Then I-
example.
then-
Let's take
then I- then
example.
I tell you that it didn't have the chapter 3 of the constitution.
Yeah, it did it, but let's look at the reality, the practicality of them. For example, during the election, we get two
Yes.
sets of people in where SLPP been then at the office, they tell people them say they don't win and then put sets and dance. APC self say they don't win and then say been day the dance. But we see the outcome of that. The police go at the opposition their own place, fire, even kill somebody there, whereas the SLPP they no one after nobody there. That's a peaceful assembly. But we see how the police handle that one day. That's not freedom of assembly.
Few
Okay, this is not Slpp, not Othio.
same fear. That issue where they talk about, there is law in this country. Law in this country. For instance, one time I go to one office where I want for enter. Them they stop me. They say no go there. Even though I wear coat. But I not force me, sir.
Okay, so what in this
If
mean?
they
What
say-
in this mean in
they
relation to
come.
waiting at the ask?
Then from waiting me they get. Who side they can say that they for celebrate? They know they do am.
But in that case, they did not been telling anybody for celebrate
But look at
anywhere.
the issue of the vampire. Look at the issue of the vampire blood.
So wait, tell me about the vampire blood. What will you try for talk about?
Like when they go spray the vampire blood, they say they kill people there.
So what you
But
be feel say
nobody know
cause?
they.
What you
They're
be
not
feel say
sure.
cause
They're
that
not
coloring?
sure which mortuary. They're not sure which mortuary they
So
get
wait,
their
what
body
you
there.
be feel say cause that particular thing there?
Who side they can say that they block? They say they block the road, the old railway line.
Yeah,
And
what
they
you
block
waiting
am.
at the ask? If you no say
Mhm.
SLPP the office they corner side, APC the office they na main road. When they get at the, of course that's get for happen. The responsibility of the police now for divert traffic. But let's go back to what you said, vampire blood. What do you be feel say cause that vampire blood the way you talk so about?
Because when police shoot in the air, so then go use vampire blood now for make like say there's police shoot them.
Okay, so
Even at
you
the-
not
at
even
some
you not be even know who side that color they come out from.
Now the party office in Benin.
No, yeah, now they been there, but waiting at the talk, waiting form, waiting they use for put down the you be know?
So the vampire blood.
No, sir. Okay, let's tell you exactly what happened. The police on that day been get a special tear gas when they use now in create that thing there. Even the police they talk about them. So why you say vampire blood?
Number 9.
No,
Nice.
no. If I dey tell you now, say the police them even confirm say
na vampire blood.
no. You get that day wrong. I think as a
Me on
journalist,
vampire
you still
blood.
get a responsibility for investigate. That
All
thing
right,
they
we
become
investigate.
as a result.
I'm going to investigate. Wait, don't tell me now.
No, I dey tell you now exactly waiting at the final thing and not waiting me say. The police and them been get this tear gas where they use that day. Now him been get it colored. He get this special chemical. Now just colored. Now in the fire, now that place they will make everywhere be get that blood colored. And then the police come and tell me say no, not to be blood, not to anybody die. Now this tear gas. So but a lot of people them they say vampire blood, including yourself. So I be the feel say as a journalist, you for don't investigate before this time.
Yeah, just like how me and you, we don't be ready. But that now that them talk. Majority people now that them talk.
Well, the reason why I ask you this as a journalist, we know they bank on majority, we they bank on the source. For example, the police, when then they talk about things them, and then waiting we see, you get for investigate certain things them. You get a clip of the tear gas. Yes, now in this, we investigate whose side they make this tear gas, for example. Whose effect we get. All land there, we investigate them and
Yeah, but all right, but on the whole, the police them say may they not block the road. I think 9 cause that.
All right. But that the same thing we they talk about so. The police tell them not block the road.
Democracy day.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. In name na Joseph Umulu. We actually don't come to this, but the question will be asked you where you not answer yet. I say this paper when I thought say matter be head to jail. You say it depends on the person. So you not think say anything wrong way for make them things happen at the country, right? In just 1 minute.
What's the matter they head to jail?
A very good question again for the paper. Thank you very much for joining me inside the program this morning. Joseph,
you don't know. Somebody don't come repeat the death penalty. We be done it from 1965. Somebody we don't come repeat the seditious libel law. Somebody we don't come with human capital development school. Because they go now school.
Okay.
More than 3 billion children. Before some people then when they not be afford for pay them to keep their school fees, especially somebody will get big another body don't with you.
All right. And now according to Mara, people then again they say $500 per year. All right. Thank you very much. Joseph.
Not choice. Not choice. It depends on who side you want to go. Not choice.
All right. Thank you very much.
I can now go to a private school. But today at the able me and you, they talk fine.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time with me inside the program today. We look forward for another fruitful discussion again. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. A name now Joseph MSV. What is this MSV? La no de call and so no more.
Moses Siamai Vonjo.
Call him back and what Sabian before go.
Moses Siamai Vonjo.
Okay, Moses Siamai Vonjo.
Siamai
Vonjo. What did that name mean in the Mende language?
It not mean anything. You see Moses.
Yeah, Moses, they are clear, yeah. All right. Thank you very much, sir. And I appreciate your time with me on the program this morning. God bless you and get yourself a good day.
God bless you too.
All right. Inena Joseph Moses Yamai Vonjo Fumulu will join me inside the program today. So let me talk about different issues them where the front page of the newspaper they don't carry. Well, like I tell you in the beginning, it left to how you see waiting go on. Whether there is Korea sweet, it's sour, a rotten. It all depends on the issues that we'll talk about inside the program. And thanks to the producer for this program, we're not Ilya Sabah. Thanks to all we don't like, we don't share, we don't comment, and you we don't subscribe to the platform. My name is Slpp, the Freedom Fighter, until we meet again. Inside another beautiful edition of a program we call Korea on Monday. Catch me in a net for the program what we call Weird. My name one more time. Nah, Slpp, the Freedom Fighter. I'm out. God bless you all. Get yourself a very good weekend.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the Wahala we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning.